he doesn't know what that is. But then I thought, what if he is the sheriff of their community? Like, what if it's his job to police everybody? And that put the biggest smile on my face because I was like, good for him. He needs to be active. You know?
And you're over here giggling. Meanwhile,
I'm giggling like facing the wall while I was at the urinal.
You're giggling. Meanwhile, this young man, the sheriff of his community, is just in there doing his duty.
Maybe he was just rounding people up. He's like, guys, we got to go. We are on a tight schedule. You guys have been fucking around in here.
Right. I don't have time for this shit. Flush.
All right, one more time. So that was cool. I don't know.
It even takes pennies. No. All right. So
the vacation was good, man.
Vacation was good.
Yeah.
I had a mini vacation.
Okay.
It was a 1-day vacation.
That is like the most mini vacation that you can take.
Miniest of vacations. So I started third shift last week. And
right.
Thursday night, I went into work at 9 p.m. and I got out of work at...
Now, we're recording this on Wednesday. You're talking about last Thursday?
Yes, last Thursday. So last Thursday, I got out of work, or I went into work at 9 p.m. Thursday, and I got out of work at 6:30 a.m. on Friday.
Okay.
Got out of work, came home, went to bed as fast as I could, and I was able to get like an hour and a half of sleep. And then I was woken up, got in the shower, and me, my wife, my stepson, and my two buddies, Jason and John, we hopped in our vehicles, and my buddy Johnny, and we hopped in our vehicles and we drove up to Des Moines to see the Foo Fighters.
Jesus.
Yeah. And this is a concert that I've been waiting to see for like the last 20 years. It just so happened like, and it's not to say like, oh, I've been waiting 20 years for them to play in Des Moines. Like, no, it's just
Des Moines was not a factor in that decision.
Exactly. I know that they've played in Chicago and they've played in Minnesota and in the states around us.
Right.
But it just so happened that this was close enough, and I knew about it far enough in advance that I could plan out the trip.
Okay.
And I want to say it was about 4 or 5 months ago now. 4 or 5 months ago, I saw that they were going to be playing in Des Moines, and I sent a message to my wife. I was like, hey, maybe we could, and she's like, fucking definitely. Like, nice. I was waiting for her to go, no, we've got to pay for this, we've got to do that, and like, no, she was like, yeah, let's.
She was on board.
Yeah, she was all about it. So, we put a post out on Facebook, and we're like, hey, whoever wants to come with us, let me know. And there were a couple people that...
I saw that post, and I think I ignored it right away.
For sure. Yeah. But there were people that saw that post, and they commented below. They're like, oh, yeah, I'd like to go. Or, I'd love to go. Pick me. It's like, I'm not picking anybody. Like, I'm telling everybody, hey, if you want to go, like, that concert's up there, get your ticket.
Right.
And, like, we'll ride together. We'll carpool, whatever. And I had... Let's see, my buddy Johnny texted me right away. He's like, we doing this? I was like, yeah, we're doing it. You're in. Boom. And then my buddy Jason's birthday was like the next day. So it's like, or right around there. So it's like, right. Hey, I'd like to include him, and we'll make it like his birthday present, whatever.
Oh, nice.
And then my buddy John, he's like, sure, I'd like to go. Cool. We got our group. And we got our tickets, and we posted about it. And after that, people were like, I can't believe that you didn't ask me to go, or you didn't get me a ticket. It's like, we got one dude, one ticket, and that's because we pooled our money together. Right. Like, and it was for his birthday. Yeah. We had a couple of people like, well, my birthday's around that time too. It's like, cool. You and I don't hang out as much as me and this dude do. Get your own ticket. I just love people like, you didn't give me a handout. You're right.
Some people, it's weird to see how some people react to acts of kindness. Like,
yeah.
Like,
I can't believe you got that person.
I'm like, oh, that's really nice of you to do that for that person. I don't think, oh, I didn't get it, so I should be upset. You know?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, it's not that I don't like these people that said, oh, you could have got me. Like,
oh no, of course
like
not.
my wife's aunt, said, I would have really liked to go. You should have told me about it. I was like, I posted it. I told everybody about it.
Right.
Like, if you wanted to go, you should have said something or reached out to me, whatever.
Yeah. But, okay, I'm going to get you back on track. So you went up to Des Moines on an hour and a half of sleep, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, my goodness.
My wife's like, oh, don't worry, you can sleep in the car. Didn't sleep in the car. I was too amped. I was too excited. And the funny
thing, felt okay? I mean,
yeah. And the funny thing was, everybody else there had gotten like 6 or 7 hours of sleep plus.
Yeah.
And was rested and should have been ready to go. I was clearly the most hyped person there.
So the Foo Fighters, this was like Christmas for you.
Absolutely.
Right? Like, because you didn't get any sleep, but it didn't matter.
You're right. I'm a big Dave Grohl fan. And
he's great, man. I like the Foo Fighters just fine, but Foo Fighters for me has always been one of those bands that when they're on the radio or like when I hear them, I'm into it. I enjoy their music. They're good musicians. They write great music. Like I'm totally into it. But they're not a band that I would probably like terribly care to see. Mm-hmm. Except that Dave Grohl, like as a human being and just as a musician, is super cool. There's a good story about that concert that night, right?
Yeah. So we drove up there. I'm hyped the whole way. Like I had the aux cord in the car. I was sitting in the back seat.
Hell yeah!
And I was blasting hits. We had Bare Naked Ladies, Backstreet Boys, NSYNC. We were going nuts.
Yeah,
it was the jam.
Party. Surprised you even made it to the Foo Fighters.
Just stay in the car, man.
Yeah,
it's a party in here. No, so we got up there, and we had Zombie Burger, which was awesome.
All right,
even better than the first time I went there.
Never been, but I've heard it's good.
It's fantastic. We may have to take a trip sometime. I'll take you up there.
Maybe we can live podcast a Zombie Burger
right
visit.
And they'll be like, who the fuck are you guys? No, so we had Zombie Burger. We left and parked outside of the arena and walked across the street. A lot of people didn't know that because in Des Moines, the Wells Fargo Arena, it has a skywalk that goes across the street into like a convention center.
Okay.
And a lot of people didn't know that skywalk was going to be open. So there were very few of us that were over there waiting. And we had like a direct line to get it. As soon as the doors open, we were on a direct line, boom, in.
Nice.
And we waited in line on that skywalk, I want to say like 2 hours, 2+.
Jeez.
Yeah. Like, I was adamant. I was like, I'm getting by the stage, goddammit. And so we get across the skywalk, we get in, and we get in the arena, and my first thing is like, I want to see if their concession stands open or their shirt lines open, whatever. And everybody else is in the line is like, no, stay focused. Like, we got to get up the stage. Like, you're right. I'll get shirts later. Boom.
Right.
And we headed down, and they led us onto the floor, and we were right on the rail.
Nice.
Like, I was super pumped, and we stood at the rail for another hour. and then the opening band was a band from the UK called the Struts.
Okay.
And
I've heard.
I was about to say, if you're not certain what their music is, I guarantee you've heard it on some of the local radio stations because they're starting to get more and more play. But the lead singer bears a striking resemblance to Freddie Mercury. Even sounds a bit like him.
Huh.
But they, even being just an opening band, air quotes, they did fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, let's see, Jason in our group, John and Johnny, I don't think had ever heard the Struts before. But after that, they were like, "Holy shit, they did really good."
Yeah.
Like, they were super surprised, and it was a pleasant surprise. It was fantastic. So it was a great way to open the concert, and then they shut it down, and they started tearing down their stage and getting ready for the Foo Fighters. So I'm freaking out. I'm pumped. My wife kept trying to talk to me. I was just like, no, not now. Not now. Like, I'm in the mindset. I have no time for your affection. Like, I've got to get ready. Like, I was in the zone. And then they dropped the curtain, or they put
Wait,
the
can
curtain.
I stop you for 1 second?
Go ahead.
And just give you an enthusiastic hell yeah. Carry on.
Okay. So they put the curtain up, and I'm ready.
Right.
And then
I'm ready right now, just listening to this.
And the lights went down, and I was like, this is it. Like, this is 20 years in the making for me. Like, I'm fucking ready. Let's do this. And then lights went down, and you hear kind of the ominous, like, the cords being plucked. You know, they're walking on the stage.
Right.
Like, oh yeah, here it is. And then the Foo Fighters have a new album out called Concrete and Gold. A little plug from the Taco Tuesday podcast. I'm sure they need it.
Yeah, send us some merch, man.
Absolutely. But they had a song on this new album called Run. That's been super popular on the airwaves recently.
Uh-huh.
And they open with that, and the guitar starts playing. I'm like, oh man, I know this song. Like, I'm ready to roll. It's a Foo Fighter concert. You should know every song. But I know what song they were opening with. I was like, all right, here we go. And then the curtain's still up, mind you.
Right.
You can see the light on the person in front, and what should be the lead singer, and they start singing, and it's kind of hoarse, it's kind of raspy.
Uh-huh.
I was like, oh shit! Like, I guess they got Taylor, their drummer, Taylor Hawkins, to open the show and sing instead of Dave, because Dave's world-renowned, famous drummer for Nirvana and Foo Fighters and all these other bands. And I was like, okay, that's a cool surprise. They got Taylor to sing Run for everybody. This is pretty neat. It's quirky, whatever.
Right.
And as he keeps singing, it just keeps sounding more off-key and hoarse. And it's what's happening right now? What's going down? What's really happening?
Right.
And then it gets to the song where there's a break, and they go into the harder part of the song, the speedier
the
part
curtain.
of the song.
The curtain is still down at this point, right?
The curtain's up, and they start singing. The song starts, and the lead singer's going, and then it gets to the faster part of the song, the more peppy part of the song, whatever. Curtain drops, and then you see it's Dave Grohl. It's like, why? If that's Dave, why did he just sound like shit?
Right.
And goes through the rest of the song, and it's still kind of hoarse, like, what's happening? And the first thing that's going through my mind is like, oh shit, like, I've heard stories about the fact that Dave and the rest of the band, like, they drink before they go out on stage, whiskey or whatever. Uh-huh. It's like, okay, have your fun, whatever, as long as it doesn't affect the professional side, as long as it doesn't affect the show, like, you're good. So I'm thinking, oh no, maybe like he got too drunk before he came out, and he's not able to focus or concentrate or whatever.
That can happen.
Right. And so first thing I'm thinking is like, oh, that's kind of a bummer though, whatever.
Yeah.
And finish the song, and he gets on the mic to talk to everybody, and he basically just lays it out like, as you can tell, my voice is kind of hoarse right now, but as you can recall in the news, I'm the same guy that broke my leg
at a concert, during a concert.
Like 10 minutes into the concert, broke his leg, and still went through the rest of the concert and played with a broken leg. Like, the doctor, they brought him back on stage, sat him in a chair at the mic, and the doctor on the side of the stage held his leg in place while they set it, while he still played the rest of the concert.
Right.
And he's like, as you can recall, I'm the guy that broke my leg mid-concert and still went on to play, so there was no way in hell I was letting a hoarse voice like making us cancel this.